Hi guys, this is going to be a ramble video about narrative in Let's Play videos. That's a sexy subject, isn't it? I can tell you're all really excited about it. It's also a video about why I'm not using fast travel mods, the sort of mods that add carriages and ferries to the various places around Skyrim. Now, a lot of people have been suggesting various different mods, and the mods do look good, but none of them do what I would need them to do at this point in the Leonard's Let's Play. Now you might be thinking, I don't understand. You're always complaining that you have to travel from Falkreath to Whiterun to get a carriage. You're always complaining about this, why don't you just fix it? You have to distinguish between Leonard complaining and Gopher complaining. Leonard would like an easy way to get from Falkreath to wherever, actually. I mean, if he was going to Solitude, Leonard would be quite happy if a carriage took him not just to Solitude, but to the door of, say, the museum, if that's where he was going, right? I, Gopher, am quite happy to make him choose a path and travel it. And the reason for that is narrative. One of the issues when making a Let's Play, rather than just playing for yourself, is you need to keep the narrative moving forward and in a believable fashion, and it has to be something where the narrative makes sense in the order you record or edit it. You don't have that when you play for yourself. I'm sure many of you have played a game where you've had a very important quest that really should consume all of your attention, but you've had a couple of side quests and they really weren't important, but you knew it was content you wanted to experience, and it would probably not be available once you progress the main quest a little further. You just get that feeling that you're about to leave an area, so you do the side quest anyway, in spite of the fact that it makes absolutely no sense for the character to do that. You do it. But then in your brain, you kind of smudge the timeline. When you remember the game a year or so later, you remember the stories, you remember the quests, but you don't remember the moments where your character did something that really was kind of daft, like, you know, going and doing a fetch quest while he was supposed to be saving the world. Of course, in a Let's Play, you don't have that luxury. You have to keep the narrative making sense in the order it is shown on the video. It's kind of like looting. When you're playing a game, you'll probably loot every single thing you kill as you kill it, even if you're midway through a battle. And you'll have cleared a room and you'll start looting everything carefully before moving to the next room. In a Let's Play, that isn't how you play. You can't, well, you can play like that, but it feels wrong. You should be focusing on making sure there are no enemies. You should be clearing an area. You should be focusing on the important things, not on making sure you've got every single bobblehead. So you end up doing it differently. I mean, when I do my Let's Plays now, I'll clear an area, I'll get a load of stuff done, and then I'll turn back and I'll go and do the looting that I probably would have done whilst playing had I not been recording. So how does that relate to fast travel mods, to mods that add more carriages and ferries? Well, you see, the problem with mods that do that is they remove some of the excuses I've got to do side quests, to do, you know, little tasks that probably I would not be able to justify doing if I had an option to skip right on by them. And by that, what I mean is, let's just say I was in Falkreath, and there were 2 or 3 things between Falkreath and Whiterun that I could possibly do. But there was also a carriage right outside Falkreath, and I had a really important task in Solitude. It's very hard to justify why Leonard would not just climb on the carriage and go straight to Solitude. Whereas in the current scenario, Leonard has to climb on his horse and travel past 2 or 3 locations that may have minor tasks that he can then say, well, I'm just passing, I'm already here, I might as well nip in and do it. And that is essentially it. having a limited number of fast travel points around Skyrim makes it so that I have to do slightly more travelling, and it gives me slightly more opportunities to just look around and say, oh, I've got a task here and I've got a task here, I will be passing, I may as well nip in. Because, you know, the way you think about it is, oh, well, if I stop there for an hour, that's only an hour on a journey that's probably theoretically taking a day. It's not a big deal. I know timescale does not actually work like that in Skyrim, but you get the idea. Whereas if I had a carriage that would take me straight to Solitude, and instead I went trotting off to Lakeview Manor and then Embershard Mine, that's a huge amount of time out of my time for no really good reason other than there's stuff there and I want it. And stuff there and I want it, it's the sort of thing that motivates us as players, but it's hard to justify it in a narrative sometimes. And I always like to keep that narrative going when I'm in a Let's Play. So basically that is it. The reason I'm not using these mods at the moment is it gives me an excuse to go places I probably would not end up going. That is it. And it allows me to do things that I kind of want to do, but I know Leonard wouldn't. Again, this is the separation between what Leonard wants and what Gopher wants. Gopher wants Leonard to go into such and such a place and get in trouble and get some stuff and maybe do a quest that he wouldn't otherwise discover. Leonard wants to get from A to B as fast as possible with as least hassle as possible. And that's the tug of war going on here. Now, this doesn't mean I won't ever use such mods. I would like to use these mods, but honestly, I think I'd have to add them between chapters. So there's a passage of time that would justify them appearing. But honestly, you know what I'd like to see? I would like to see a mod like that where these things appear over time. Perhaps if you became a Thane or helped people in the neighbourhood and you cleared the area of bandits, maybe, you know, carriages would start appearing. So if you made Dawnstar a little happier, did some quests for the people around here, and everyone got happier, and the place got more productive, carriages would have a reason to appear, and suddenly there's a carriage driver there. You know, things like that. I would like to see that. Because, of course, that would suit both my needs. There would be a period where I would need to be travelling on foot all the time, and then after a while, once I'd pretty much done everything, I'd be able to travel between them quickly and simply. Anyway, that is pretty much it. That is the reason I'm not installing these mods. It's not that I don't know they exist, it's just, it's a choice for the sake of the narrative. The reason I'm making this video right now is I'm about to make another video where I discuss certain mods I'm thinking of trying, and I kind of knew people would be asking me why I wasn't thinking of trying those sort of mods. So I thought I'd get ahead of the issue and release this. So thank you for listening to me ramble on this subject. I hope it explained my somewhat circuitous thinking, and I hope it does not offend you too much if Leonard continues to travel around Skyrim on foot or by horse, complaining the entire time that there's not an easier option.